This time on DebuggedJNR, we're going to be looking at search engines. When you search on the internet and you type in the words you're looking for, how does it know that all those websites are useful and have that information on them? The answer actually is spiders. When you go on the internet, on your tablet or your phone or your computer, you'll find that it has lots and lots of information. But where did all this come from? Well, actually, the internet is a web of lots and lots of computers, and some of these computers have websites on. Websites are just documents full of images and text that you can look at and read. So you might have a laptop or a computer, let's say it looks a bit like this, and you go to a website and that goes off to another machine and that will send you back a website. So we'll go off to another machine over here. And you might go to a different website, so maybe one over here. So far, so good. Now this website might have a link on it and you click on that link and that will take you to a different website. So this might come over here to here, and then maybe there'll be another website over here, and all these websites are connected to different websites and there's lots and lots of them. So some will go over here like this, and then maybe over here you can go to this website, and there are many, many of these. So this is why the internet is often called the web, because it is essentially a web of lots and lots of computers. So there's so much information here, but it's very difficult to know where to look. So what we do is we'll go on a search engine. Now you might be familiar with some search engines like Google or Bing or DuckDuckGo. All of these work in a similar way. You'll type in some words and it will instantly show you all of the websites that have those words that it thinks are interesting for you. And then you can click on those and have a look. So a search engine will already know about a lot of these websites because it's actually already been to them. And it hasn't been itself necessarily. It will have sent out a computer program to do this for it. And this is called a spider. So we've got a little spider here. This represents a program that goes over the web and finds out what's on websites. The search engine will send it to a website. It will look at the website in the same way you would look. It will read the words, it will look at the pictures, and it will find out what is interesting about that website and interesting things that it can tell you about that website. And it will send all of that information back to the search engine for storage. And this will be happening a lot. There'll be a lot of spiders going on at the same time. The search engine will collect all this information together in a giant database of all the websites and all the interesting information that was on those websites. And also, most importantly, some of these key words that you might then search for so that it can go, oh, I remember I saw that word on that website, and we can bring that up for them to look at. Now, another interesting thing about websites is they sometimes have links on. And if a website has some links, it might point to a new website that the search engine has never seen before. And if that happens, the search engine will record this new website and it will go there next. So the spider will go to this website and maybe it sees the link to this website and then it goes off here next and sends that information back to the search engine. And then it sees another link over to here. This is you, maybe you're running a website, and then this one, and so on. So it will crawl all over the web and find as many websites as it can. So sometimes we call this a spider because it crawls over the web, and sometimes we just call it a web crawler. Because a web spider is a computer program, it sees the web a little bit differently to you. Let's have a look at a website and see what it is that a web spider would see. So I've got my laptop, and we're just going to go to www.example.com, which is a very little website that just is an example. Now, you can see here it's got a grey background and a white box, but we can actually have a look at the source code, which is the code that tells your computer how to show that website and what pictures to put in and what links to put in and things like this. All we have is some instructions on what color things should be and where things should be laid out, but mostly we just have the text. Here we go. So this domain is in use for illustrative examples, right? And so that's the text that actually appears on the website. And you'll notice down here, this is a link. This is a hyperlink to a different website. And so this would be seen by the spider and it would go, I'll add that to the list for next time and I can go and see what's on that website as well. One interesting question is, let's imagine you're a search engine and you have thousands of spiders all over the internet finding lots and lots of different websites. That's a lot of information for you to sort through. And then someone types in some words, you've got to show them in a really meaningful way with the most important things first. How do you do that? Well, there's lots of different ways, but most search engines will count up the number of different links to a web page, the number of connections it has on this web, and they'll use that as an example of how popular a website is. If 50 websites all point to yours, that means it's pretty popular. But if 100 websites point to yours, it's even more popular. And so we can order these websites based on things like this. So now we know what a web spider is. It's a small program that crawls all over the internet gathering information, and it sends that information back to a search engine like Google or DuckDuckGo or Bing, so that when you type in words, it will know what to show you. So it's all down to the spiders.